No.
Okay, we're going to do the side of the bus. Okay, my doors, they open and close. They have good rubber. Glass is not damaged. Hinges properly mounted secure, not missing any nuts and bolts. My mirror brackets properly mounted and secure, not missing any nuts and bolts. Mirrors are clean and clear, not damaged. Adjusted for me. At the top of my bus, we have 3 clearance lights, 2 amber, 1 red. I also have my amber combination light and my 2 step lights that are clear in color. All of the lights on my bus are properly mounted and secured, are not cracked or damaged, and in good working order as demonstrated earlier. I also have my 3 reflectors, 2 amber, 1 red, properly mounted and secured, are not peeling, no damage. So underneath my bus, we're going to be talking about the drive shaft. My drive shaft is properly mounted and secure. It's not bent. There's no debris around it. The universal joints are also properly mounted and secure. They have good grease, not missing any nuts or bolts. The safety hanger is in place, properly mounted and secure. The exhaust system should have no rust, no dents. There should be no carbon or soot. If I see carbon or soot, it tells me it's leaking. No damage to my exhaust system. My frame goes from the front to the back of my bus. My frame should have no illegal welds, no holes, only the factory holes, no cracks. If it has any of those 3, my frame would become weak. So now we're going to go to our suspension system. There's 2 hanger mounts properly mounted and secured to the frame of my bus. My leaf springs are properly mounted and secured to the frame, or to the hanger mounts, as well as to my axle with 2 U-bolts. Okay, the axle is straight, it's not damaged, leaking. Okay, the 2 U-bolts are not missing. The leaf springs themselves, no, they're not cracked, they're not missing, and they're not shifted. So shifted would be if they're not centered. Okay. Now we're going to go to the shock absorber. My shock absorber is properly mounted and secure to the frame of my bus, as well as to the axle. The shock absorber is not damaged or leaking, not missing any nuts or bolts. So now we're going to go to our braking system. We're going to talk about our ABS wire. The ABS wire, there's no cuts, there's no illegal tape covering the cuts. It's properly mounted and secured to my rotor. My rotor is nice and smooth. There's no oil or grease, no grooves, no metal shavings. Now we'll talk about the brake line, the ABS hydraulic brake line. Or sorry, not ABS, but the hydraulic brake line, which is properly mounted and secured to the brake caliper. The brake line is not leaking or damaged. The brake caliper is not leaking or damaged. Inside the caliper is my brake pads. Should have no less than 1/4 inch thickness. In those brake pads, they are also properly mounted and secure. So now I'm done with my brake system. Now I'm going to go to the tires. I have dual drive tires. My dual drive tires are properly mounted and secure. The correct tread depth on this is 2/32 for the back. For the front, it's 4/32. Okay, I checked this with a depth gauge. In between my tire, there's no debris. The walls of my inner and outer tire, there's no cut, no damage. It's properly mounted and secured to the frame, or to the rim, to the rim. Also, there's no bends, no holes, only factory holes. There's no illegal welds. The rim, the lug nuts are all present. There's no rust trails or shiny spots, which would indicate a loose lug nut. The valve stem is straight. My valve stem cap is in place. It's not leaking. I checked my tire pressure with the tire pressure gauge. Pressure for this tire is 115 psi. My axle seal is in place. It's not damaged or leaking. My mud flap is properly mounted and secure, not missing any nuts and bolts. My fuel tank, door opens, closes. Cap is tight, it's not leaking, has a good rubber seal, safety chains in place.